Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome back to OnShape for 3D design, and this is episode 2 of 2. So if you have not watched the first one, go back and find the OnShape episode 1, where we just learn how to start something in OnShape, and we're going to finish our um, shape. And what it is that we created last time was an L. That's it, just a simple L. But we are on the road to making a part, like designing an actual part that would be in a machine or a mountain bike or something. It's a steel machine. Um, I'll show the picture here to remind you what we're making. So it has a flat bottom, a flat left wall, an angled back wall, a 1-inch diameter hole through the middle. That's 2 inches from each edge. And it has a fillet or a rounded front corner. That's it. So we're going to start right here. Oh, so when you start, you may have just seen that I just did that. Let me close that. When you start and you click on the created by me, just go to created by me. This is the folder that you want to always use. And then you'll see your fixture file. If you started one with me last time, then you just double click it and you'll see so far what we've done is one sketch. And so the sketch is a step, a piece, and the piece is this L. So, but it has very exact dimensions. And it has to. So we are going to extrude it. So extrude means pull out or push in. And so we're going to grab this tool right here. It's such a common tool that it's usually at the far left. And we're going to click it once. We're going to see that it will be a solid extrusion. It's going to be a new extrusion. And we want it to be let's see, what is this? This is 5 inches deep. So again, looking at the blueprint, we need a 5-inch deep floor as part of this. So let's type in 5. It is all inches, and then we'll click. Now that we have all the things set up over here, we can click on the thing we want extruded, which is this, and boom, it does it. And now, if we are okay with it, we can click on the check mark. So the green check will make that kind of a permanent thing, relatively permanent. So here we have 5-inch deep, 5-inch wide, 4-inch tall, basically L bracket. Okay. So next up, we want to rotate around to the back side, and we want to select that plane. So hit P for plane. Click on the back side. I mean, that is the front plane. As you can see, it says front, but the back side of the front plane, that's what we're working with. And then we're going to create a new sketch. Oh, let's press N for normal. Normal will give us the nice straight on view that we like when we're working with something. And so, and once we have that view, we can hit P to get rid of the plane, and we're good. So now we want to do a new sketch. Remember, a sketch is a step. It's a part. Okay, so sketch 2, and you can see right now I can't do anything. There's no tools available. It's asking me right here, hey, you got rid of your sketch plane, so I can't click on it anymore. So let's see if I can just click on the side of the back side of this shape, which is on the same plane, and sure enough, it works. So you technically didn't have to hit P to open the plane and select the plane and get rid of the plane. You can just click on the back of the shape. It's fine. And then click on the line tool, and we're simply going to draw a line from the top left of this piece to the top left of that piece. Make sure it's a dot. The dot means you're at the end right there, and then click. So you can see, and then hit escape to get rid of the tool. So you can see I've got a very, very thin, slightly grayed shape. That's basically what it is. All right. And now we want to go back to isometric view. You can either go to the square over here and choose isometric, or you can just hit Shift 7. So that just rotates around back to the original kind of 3D view. And then we want to, hit check mark. Everything's good. So basically we're saying, yes, that triangle piece is good. Okay, so it like finishes it. So over here, this list, you'll notice that we've done sketch 1, and when I roll my mouse over it, it turns yellow. We extruded it, that turns yellow. And then we made a triangle, sketch 2, that turns yellow. So these are the steps that we're taking to make this shape. And this is what makes one of the things that makes OnShape so powerful. And we'll talk about this and practice this and demonstrate this later. Next, we need to extrude this back wall so it's the same as these other thicknesses. And so that would be an extrusion. So let's click on extrude. This will be extrude 2. And then instead of making this one new, because before there wasn't an extrusion, right? So our first extrusion was a brand new extrusion. We could do a new one here too, but I'd rather add. So I want to add this triangle to the piece so it becomes one. You could do it either way, but I prefer add. And then we know the depth is 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. So click on depth and type in 0.75. And then before you do anything else, roll your mouse to the part that you want to extrude and click. And you might ask, wait, why did it go out that way? Why did it go backwards? Well, that's what we told it to do. So luckily there's a tool right here that says, I would like you to extrude in the opposite direction. So click that and click check mark for OK. And you can see now we have this piece that has a square left wall, a angled back wall, and let's go to extrude. Sorry, isometric. Sometimes when my view gets bad, I just go back to isometric view. And we have the angled back wall. So, all right, excellent. So we have sketch 1, extrude 1, sketch 2, extrude 2. I'm trying not to go too fast. So next up, we would like to make a hole in the bottom of the part. So that will be a new sketch. So just think of sketch as a part or step. So click it once. It's asking you right here, select a sketch plane. So let's just click the bottom, which you can see automatically it gave us sketch 3 on the bottom of the part. And we don't want to click the check mark yet. We haven't done anything. We want to grab the circle tool, move it over here onto the bottom of this, click, drag out, and click again. So we don't care where it is or how big it is because we're going to tell it that next. Okay, so there is our circle, and we know what we want to do is make it 1 inch diameter. So if we go up to the diameter tool here, right there, sorry, not diameter, dimension tool, but we are talking about diameter with this circle. And if we click on the outside, I'm not going to give you more terms, the perimeter of the circle, click it once, and then move your mouse, and you can see the size that it is now, but just place that number and type in 1, just 1, and enter. So now we have a circle that is 1 inch diameter, which means straight across, 1 inch diameter. And that's what that symbol means. The circle with the slash through it is diameter next to a 1. So it's diameter 1. All right. Now, next up, we know that that circle has to be in a very exact location for whatever this is going to be used for. So let's do this. Let's use the line tool. And there's multiple ways to do this, but this is how I do it. So I'm going to grab the line tool, and I'm going to click on the yellow edge here. I'm going to draw a line in. Make sure it's parallel. Make sure it has the blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, and then click. And then hit the escape tool. So it doesn't matter how long it is because we're going to tell it. So go back up to the dimension tool, click on that line until it turns yellow, and then click. Drag out and click. I want this to be 2 inches, so just 2, enter. Okay, and then I'm going to grab another line tool, and I'm going to click on this side, yellow, click, drag, make sure it is blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow. And if it, don't get in the way of the circle, just if you need to make it shorter or longer, whatever, but just blue, yellow, and then click, and then escape to end the tool. Now we go back to the dimension tool, click on that line, click, drag, click, and type in 2, enter. Now I have 2 lines that are 2 inches long from both sides of this bottom piece. Both sides that don't have a wall, right? So now I'm going to use the really cool tool that we did last time. It's called coincident, right? So it just means coincident. Put 2 things together or multiple things in the same location. So if I click on the coincident tool, click on this dot, and then I click on that dot, it forces them to be 2 inches from each edge so that they can join one another. Now, I was really close with my circle. Look at that. So our final step with this is to do another coincident, which is already selected, and choose the middle of the circle. So click let go, and now choose where those 2 lines came together, click and let go, and boom, we have that circle exactly where it's supposed to be. All right. Now, if that was a lot, you can rewind, do it again. Okay, watch that again. You can always hit undo, so that the Control Z or the left arrow here in the upper left, you can always go back as many times as you need to undo. You can even, I'm going to click check mark, by the way. So right here. So go ahead and click check mark. Once we have the circle in the right place, check mark. Okay, excellent. All right, so that is sketch 3. We actually don't need those lines anymore. So if you select them, oh, nope, can't. It's all one sketch. So it thinks that's fine. It's not a big deal. We'll keep that. So now we have sketch 1 and we extruded it. We have sketch 2, which was the triangle wall. We extruded it. We have sketch 3, which is the circle. Now we want to extrude it. It needs to be a hole. So let's go back to the extrude tool, and we're going to do something a little different this time. We've done new, we've done add. Now let's do remove, because we want, first let's select what we want to extrude. We want that. We also want, I'm going to hold control and that. I wonder if I can. No, let's see what I can do here. I need, there we go. I don't have to hold control. I can just click. I want to make sure it's the full circle. And then, so I have to do that first and then go back to the extrude tool. So, no, I didn't. I already had one. Never mind. I already had one. Close that. So what, I know what I was going to mention earlier. You can delete any of these steps just by clicking it, hitting the delete key, but you have to redo it then if you make a mistake. So I do have this sketch, and I'm going to extrude it, and I want it to be removed, and I want it to be, I don't know how deep it is. Well, I should, right? It should be 0.75, but if you don't know, or if you just want another way to do it, you can click on this blind where it's going to end. Remember when we did that earlier with through all? Oh, no, we didn't. We're going to do that now. Through all. We hadn't used that before. So you're going to go to bind through all. So let's just look at this. A solid extrusion. So extrude 3 is solid. We're going to remove it. It's going to go through it all. And we need to click on what we want to extrude. So both of those. And we're like, wait a minute. Why did it go that way? So you can always tell it to go the opposite direction. And let's just make sure. Looks like we need to also do that little piece right there. There we go. And then everything looks good. Click check mark. All right, there we go. So that was an interesting way to do it, but that's the way Mr. Johns does it. There are other ways. But I ended up with a circle that's 1 inch diameter. It's 2 inches from each edge. Everything is good. Lastly, we need to make this front edge rounded, and that's really easy. So we're going to go up to this tool right here. There are several selections. This one called a chamfer is a flat edge, and then the fillet is a rounded edge, so click it. We know that the blueprints ask for a 0.5 inch, so 0.5 inch radius. That's all you have to change. Everything else is fine. And then you're going to click on make sure it's not a side, make sure it is this edge. So click it once, and it gives you a beautiful 1/2 inch fillet edge. You'll see these on your countertops, your cupboards, different furniture, and all kinds of pieces, parts in machines. And then once that looks good to you, click check mark, and there we have it. That is the finished fixture piece. And then lastly, what I want to show you, and good job, by the way, keeping up. If you messed up and you need to start over, you can just go to new shape, do it again, and it's fine. I've done that before. Went through this tutorial when I first started multiple times until I was happy with how it turned out. And then the only thing I want to show you is if you go back to any step you want. So let's say sketch one. Let's see, sketch one. Which one do I want to go to? Sketch one's which one's the floor? Let's just double click sketch one. Yeah, sketch one. So sketch one was the L. But let's say at the last minute, the business, the owner, the customer says, hey, no, this was supposed to be 7 right there. So I need to change that to a 7 or it's not going to fit the mountain bike or the part. So I'm going to go up to dimension and click on the 5. Okay, double click. I double clicked and I'm going to type in 7, enter. Now you can see that extended that part, and then I'm going to click check mark because, yep, that's exactly what I want. Now, one thing that's great about OnShape is that it made, in other programs, it probably would have just moved that one part, and you would have had to gone and redrawn the angled wall and everything. It could have messed up where the hole was, but it didn't. It extended it 2 inches. So now this is 7. Everything else, the hole is still 1 inch diameter and still 2 inches from both edges. And the angled wall simply just extended, and it made that modification. And that's something you can do in a CAD program, computer-aided drafting, or a 3D program that has the ability to work in stages or steps that you can edit or delete or add steps in the middle of a project, which sometimes is very difficult. So there we have it. We are done with the fixture. Good job. And I'll catch you next time when we take it a step further. For now, though, Mr. Johns is